Hello, my name is Pamela Hyde and I am the administrator of the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, or SAMHSA, within the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. SAMHSA is the part of the U.S. federal government charged with reducing the impact of substance abuse and mental illness in America's communities. No one organization or group, including SAMHSA, is able to employ all of the resources necessary to address the complex range of factors and services needed to help individuals and families affected by mental health conditions and by substance abuse at the community level. Because of that, it's essential to create communities where individuals, families, schools, faith-based organizations, and workplaces take action to promote emotional health and reduce the likelihood of mental illness, suicide, and substance abuse. Building strategic partnerships is critical for SAMHSA's mission to be accomplished. Faith-based organizations are significant resources for any community seeking to address the holistic needs of individuals and families affected by substance use and mental health conditions.
In May of 2010, SAMHSA convened the first Community Leaders and Interfaith Summit here in Washington, D.C. This was our first time that we had ever gathered faith-based leaders and community leaders together to deal with community problems around recovery. We identified community groups, faith and secular, and some of SAMHSA grantees from about 15 different communities that were economically distressed. But the real purpose of the summit was to open up dialogue among these community organizations, faith and secular, give them a chance to sit down and talk about community issues, the reasons why they had not worked together before.
I was invited to the very first faith-based summit in Washington as a result of being a SAMHSA grant recipient. My grant project organizer called me and said if I knew of a faith-based organization that would like to attend, would I be interested? And I said absolutely. And I immediately called one of the reverends that I have been networking with, and we both went to the summit. And from there, we were directed to go back to our communities, meaning Los Angeles, and network with the people who attended the conference in and around the Los Angeles community to see if we could create a collaborative that would be a networking resource opportunity for other agencies and faith-based organizations in the community.
We've got conventional treatment on one side of the street, we've got faith-based on the other side of the street. They're each doing their own thing, and neither one of them are getting the 80 or 90% success that we would like to get. I mean, 60% success is great, but if we can get 90 or 95 by bringing the models together and coming up with something brand new that'll work in a different way, that would be even better.
Quite often, if the secular community or if the political arena wants to reach the constituents, they will reach out to the faith-based community because the pastors do have, the pastors have the ear of the residents and the constituents, and so it just really makes sense for the secular community and the faith-based community to merge because the secular community has more of the experience they have more experience than we have, but we can tap into the actual population, and the population has more trust for us than they do for the secular community.
If they were maybe from the Indian community, the first person they would go to is to an Indian spiritual leader. If a person is Jewish, they would go to their Jewish spiritual leader. So the spiritual element of our lives is very important. It's very important to have that kind of diversity and have that opportunity so that they're not just churches at the tables. We want Muslims at the table, imams at the table. We want to have people from the Indian community at the table. We want all the different, the Catholic at the table, because traditionally people go to their own spiritual leader. So that's a part of us as a human being. So we want to bring that aspect to the table too.
Well, I think we're all hoping that we can create a synergy around community and faith-based organizations, so the old 1 + 1 = 3, that we can certainly better communicate with one another, that we can better reach the individuals that we're trying to serve in the community, and just collaborate on a much higher level for the benefit of the community and the citizens of our communities.